Somewhere right now, someone is uploading a clip to a cloud video generator, waiting in a queue, and paying per second for the privilege. Meanwhile, the same kind of video can render on the machine already sitting on your desk. Today, 12 things nobody tells you about generating AI video locally on your own GPU, no queue, no upload, no monthly meter running. This isn't a list of brands, it's the workflow. What to check before you install anything, the settings that actually move the needle, the traps that quietly waste your weekend, and the one habit that turns a fun experiment into a real production pipeline. I've burned hours on every mistake here, so you don't have to. As we go, keep a tally. Count how many of these you already knew, and how many you're about to steal. Your score at the end is your to-do list for the week. Local video generation went from science fiction to something you can run tonight faster than almost anyone expected, and most tutorials skip the parts that actually matter. We're doing the opposite. Pick one, and let's get your first clip rendering before this video ends. Pick 1. Your graphics card is the real gatekeeper, not the software. Before you download a single model, open your system info and find one number, your GPU's VRAM, the memory on the card itself. That number decides everything: which models load, how long clips can be, what resolution you can touch. Here's the mistake I made early on. I found a jaw-dropping demo, spent an evening installing everything, hit generate, and watched it crash with an out-of-memory error. The model needed more VRAM than my card had. An hour gone before I'd made a single frame. So do this before anything else. Find your VRAM number, then check the model's official page for its stated memory requirement. Creators almost always list it. If your card is short, don't rage quit. Look for a smaller or quantized version, which is a slimmed-down build made to fit tighter memory. Try this week. Write your VRAM number on a sticky note next to your screen. Every time you eye a new model, glance at the note first. That one habit turns "why won't this run" into a 5-second decision and saves you the exact evening I threw away. Pick 2, and this is the one that made me laugh out loud. You probably don't need the slow, heavy version of a model. Video generators work by starting with noise and cleaning it up over a set number of passes, called diffusion steps. More steps, more waiting. Here's the part nobody tells beginners. The makers now ship faster builds that need far fewer passes. According to the official LTX video model card on Hugging Face from Lightrix in 2025, their model produces high-quality clips using just 8 diffusion steps, or even fewer. 8, not 50. When I first switched from a bloated default to one of these leaner setups, a clip that used to make me go get coffee finished before I stood up. Same idea, a fraction of the weight. So try this week. Whatever model you land on, check its official page for a distilled or step-reduced version, and start there. Begin low, a handful of steps, preview the result, and only add more if the quality genuinely needs it. Most people crank steps to the max out of superstition and pay for it in hours. Speed first, then refine. Your patience will thank you. Pick 3. Resolution is a dial you control, not a fixed setting you accept. Beginners pick the biggest number they can and wonder why everything crawls. Bigger frames mean more pixels to compute every single step, so cost climbs fast. The smart move is to design in stages. According to the official LTX video repository from Lightrix 2025, their model can generate 30 frames per second video at a resolution of 1216 by 704, and it does it faster than the clip can be watched. That's a real, workable target, straight from the source. So here's the workflow I use, and you can steal it. Draft small. Generate at a low resolution first, purely to test whether the motion and the composition are right. Small drafts render in a blink, so you can try 10 ideas in the time one large render would take. Only when a draft actually works do you rerun that exact prompt at full resolution for the keeper. Try this week. Cut your resolution in half for every experimental generation, and save the high-res pass for winners only. You'll iterate faster, waste less, and stop treating a 5-minute render as the price of every random idea. Pick 4. Generate short, then stitch. Don't ask the model for a movie in one shot. Most local video tools shine at brief clips, a few seconds each. Beg for a long continuous scene and two things happen: memory balloons and the motion drifts into that melty, dreamlike mess where hands become spaghetti halfway through. I learned this the hard way trying to make one long clip for an intro. It kept falling apart at the end. Then a friend showed me the obvious fix. Think like an editor, not a magician. Generate your scene as several short, clean clips, a wide shot, a close-up, a detail, then join them in any free video editor. The cuts actually make it look more professional, not less, because that's how real video is made. Nobody films a 2-minute ad in a single unbroken take either. Try this week. Instead of one 8-second request, plan 3 3-second shots that tell the same little story and cut them together. You'll get sharper motion, fewer failures, and a result that reads as intentional. Short clips are a feature disguised as a limitation. Lean into it. Pick 5. Write your prompt like a film director, not like a search bar. This is the single skill that separated my garbage early clips from ones I'd actually show people. Typing a cat cool gives the model almost nothing to work with, so it invents the rest, usually badly. Instead, describe the shot the way a director briefs a crew. Name the subject, the action, the camera move, the lighting, the mood. A tabby cat leaps onto a windowsill, slow motion, warm afternoon light, camera slowly pushing in. Now the model has a plan. Here's the part beginners miss. Motion words matter as much as objects. Tell it whether the camera pans, zooms, or holds still, and whether the subject moves fast or drifts slowly. That's where video prompting differs from image prompting. Try this week. Keep a plain text file of your best prompts, and every time one produces a great clip, paste it in with a note on what worked. Within a month, you'll have a personal recipe book worth more than any tutorial. The model is the camera. You're the director. Most people never pick up the megaphone, and it shows in every frame. Pick 6. Log your seeds, or kiss your best results goodbye. A seed is just the starting number the model uses to create its random noise. Same seed, same prompt, same settings, and you get the same clip back every time. Change the seed, and you get a fresh take on the same idea. Here's the heartbreak nobody warns you about. Early on, I generated something perfect. The motion, the lighting, all of it, then tweaked one word to make it slightly better, lost the magic, and could never get that first version back. It was gone, because I hadn't written down the seed. That clip haunts me. So treat seeds like the save points they are. When a generation genuinely works, record the seed, the exact prompt, and the settings together in one place. Most tools show the seed right in the output panel. Some let you lock it. Try this week. Create a simple table, seed, prompt, notes, and fill in one row every time you make a keeper. When you want 10 variations of a winner, you'll reuse the seed and tweak on purpose, instead of gambling and praying. Reproducibility is boring right up until the moment it saves you. Pick 7. Watch your hardware, because generating video is the heaviest thing you'll ever ask your computer to do. This isn't like editing a document. The GPU runs flat out, pulling serious power and throwing off real heat, sometimes for minutes at a time. On a laptop especially, that fan screaming isn't decoration. It's a warning that the chip is fighting to stay cool. When a machine gets too hot, it does something sneaky. It slows itself down to protect itself, so your renders quietly take longer, and you never know why. I spent a week blaming my settings when the real problem was a dusty vent. So keep an eye on it. Run a free temperature monitor in the background the first few times you generate, and just watch the numbers while a clip renders. Make sure air can actually get in and out. A laptop buried in a blanket is a laptop cooking itself. Try this week. Before a long batch, clear the vents, lift the machine for airflow, and glance at those temps once during a render. Treat your GPU like an engine under load, not an appliance. Look after the hardware, and the hardware keeps the renders fast. Pick 8. Stop babysitting renders, batch them, and walk away. The rookie rhythm is painful to watch. Type a prompt, hit generate, stare at the bar, wait, then finally type the next one. You become the bottleneck, feeding the machine one idea at a time like a short-order cook. But these tools can queue. Almost every local setup lets you line up a whole list of prompts to run back to back, unattended. This is where it stops being a toy and starts being a pipeline. Here's my favorite move. I write 10 prompt variations in the evening, drop them all in the queue, and go to bed. The GPU works the night shift for free while I sleep, and I wake up to 10 clips to pick from. My machine's most productive hours are the ones I'm not even awake for. Try this week. Instead of generating one clip and reacting to it, write 5 prompts in a batch and run them in a row while you do something else. Come back to a gallery, not a single guess. The goal isn't to watch AI make video, it's to set the work in motion and spend your attention where it actually counts. Pick 9. Feed the model a picture, not just words. Everyone starts with text to video, typing a description and hoping. But most local tools also do image to video. You hand it a still image, and it brings that exact frame to life with motion. This changes everything about control. With text alone, you're rolling dice on what the subject looks like. With a starting image, you've already locked the look, the colors, the composition. The model only has to add movement. I stumbled onto this when I couldn't get a character to stay consistent across clips. The fix was obvious in hindsight. Generate one great still first, in an image tool I already trusted, then animate that. Suddenly, every clip matched. Some tools even let you set both a first and a last frame and fill the motion between them, which is control you just can't get from a text box. Try this week. Take one image you already love, a photo, a design, a generated still, and run it through image to video for a short, gentle motion. Start subtle. A little drift reads as cinematic, while too much turns to chaos. Words describe a scene, but an image hands the model the scene. Use both. Pick 10. Save and version your workflows, because you will break them. Many local video tools use a node graph, a visual map of boxes and wires where you wire the model to your settings to the output. It's powerful, and it's also a house of cards. One afternoon, I spent an hour perfecting a setup, then dragged one wire to improve it, and the whole thing stopped working. I had no idea what I'd changed and no way back. An hour of tuning, gone in one careless click. Don't be me. Treat a working setup like precious code. The moment a workflow does what you want, save it with a clear name and the date. Before you experiment, save a copy first so undo is a file, not a memory. Keep a small folder of your proven setups. Clean base, high motion, image start, so you always have a known good starting point to fall back to. Try this week. Find your current working setup, save it right now with today's date, and only then start tinkering. The people who keep video generation fun long-term aren't the ones who never break things, they're the ones who can always get back to yesterday. Pick 11. Don't chase speeds you don't actually need. There's a headline number that makes people spend money they shouldn't. According to the official LTX video model card on Hugging Face from Lightrix in 2025, the distilled model can reach real-time generation at its default resolution and 30 frames per second on an H100 GPU. That's a data center card, not the thing in your gaming laptop. And here's the trap. People read real-time and assume they need that hardware or feel like failures for waiting a couple of minutes on their own machine. You don't and you're not. Ask an honest question. What are you actually making? If you're producing clips for videos, social posts, or personal projects, a render that takes a minute or two is completely fine. You'll spend far longer choosing and editing than waiting. Real-time only matters for live, interactive uses, which most of us simply don't have. Try this week. Before you even think about upgrading anything, time how long your current setup takes for one clip, then ask whether that wait is genuinely blocking you or just annoying you. Optimize your prompts and workflow first. The bottleneck is almost never the hardware, it's the plan. Pick 12, the meta one that turns a hobby into a pipeline. Automate everything around the generation, not just the generation itself. Making the clip is only one step. Think about all the manual busywork that surrounds it, renaming output files, sorting clips into folders, resizing for different platforms, logging which prompt made which video. Do that by hand, and you'll quietly stop the way everyone eventually abandons a chore. So, offload it. A simple automation can watch your output folder, rename each new clip by date and prompt, drop it in the right place, and even ping you when a long batch finishes. Suddenly, you're not managing files, you're just making video. This is the habit that separates people who post one cool clip and vanish from people who build an actual channel. The generator is the exciting part, but the plumbing around it is what makes it last. Try this week. Pick the single most annoying manual step in your routine, probably file naming or sorting, and set up one small rule to handle it automatically. Then never touch it again. Automate the boring layer, and the fun layer runs for years. That's the whole game. 12 things nobody tells you about generating AI video on your own machine, from the VRAM number that decides everything to the boring automation that makes it last. So, what's your score? How many did you already know? And how many are you about to steal this week? Whatever the number, don't try all 12 tonight. Pick the single one that fixes your biggest frustration right now, probably checking your VRAM or logging your seeds, and do just that one properly this week. Then add another next week. That's how a weekend experiment quietly becomes a real skill. Instead of another tab, you close and forget. If you want each of these turned into a full step-by-step build, the setups, the prompts, the automations, subscribe, because that's exactly what this channel does. AI tools and automation explained simply so you can actually use them. And do me a favor in the comments. Tell me which pick you're starting with, and whether you're running local or still stuck in a cloud queue. I read them, and your questions become future videos. Now go get a clip rendering. Pick one.